The NFL draft is just 3 days away, and the anticipation is reaching a boiling point across the league. We are diving deep into the history of the Tennessee Titans to see how their past draft selections have shaped the franchise over the last 25 years. From the legendary success of Derrick Henry to the disastrous tenure of Isaiah Wilson, we are breaking down the hits and the misses that define their draft legacy.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
You have to see this unbelievable moment involving Derrick Henry at a recent autograph signing. A fan had the audacity to bring a photo of Cooper DeJean tackling the star running back, and King Henry was having absolutely none of it. This wild interaction has everyone talking about whether that hit truly got inside his head on the field. We are heading to the Sunshine State to settle a massive debate about high school gridiron greatness. USA Today Sports is asking for your vote to determine the single best Florida high school football player of all time from a list of absolute icons. We are talking about legends like Derrick Henry, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and Tim Tebow, all vying for the top spot in this incredible lineup. Finally, we take a heartwarming look at a major personal milestone for Baltimore Ravens superstar Derrick Henry. The powerhouse runner has officially welcomed his third daughter to the world, proving that some of his biggest victories happen far away from the football field. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest news, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel while hitting the notification bell. The NFL draft is just days away, and if there is one thing we know about the Tennessee Titans, it is that they have a history of swinging for the fences. Sometimes they hit a home run, and sometimes they strike out in spectacular fashion. With the draft smoke filling the air, let's take a trip down memory lane to look at the highest highs and the lowest lows of the last 25 years in Nashville. First, let's talk about the undisputed king of the Titans draft board, Derrick Henry. Snagged in the second round back in 2016, King Henry didn't just meet expectations, he shattered them. From back-to-back rushing titles to that legendary 2,000-yard season, he became the absolute face of the franchise. Even as he keeps dominating well into his 30s with the Ravens, it is clear that landing him at pick 45 was the definition of a steal. It is a rare combination of pure power and elite speed that we might not see again for a long time. But for every miracle like Henry, there is a nightmare waiting in the wings. Enter Isaiah Wilson, the 2020 first-round pick who became arguably the biggest draft bust in team history. Imagine using a first-round selection on a player who finishes his tenure with the team after playing a grand total of one solitary game. Between the discipline issues and a career that effectively evaporated before it could even begin, Wilson represents the kind of what were they thinking moment that keeps general managers up at night. It is a harsh reminder of how fragile a team's future can be when a premier pick flames out so spectacularly. The Titans are in a much better spot heading into this year's draft than they were during that dark period, but they know all too well that one bad call can start a downward spiral. As we look ahead to who might be wearing the two-tone blue this year, let me know in the comments. Who do you think was the biggest hidden gem the Titans have drafted in the last decade? Hit that subscribe button to stay locked in for all our draft coverage. And remember, in the NFL, today's gamble is tomorrow's legacy. Ever wondered what it takes to actually break a future Hall of Famer? We all know Derrick Henry as the definition of downhill violence, a man who has spent nearly a decade treating NFL defenders like bowling pins. But apparently, even the king can have his soul snatched. Recently, at an autograph signing, a fan learned this the hard way when he tried to get Henry to sign a photo of Cooper DeJean, absolutely flattening him into the dirt. Henry didn't just decline. He took one look at that image of his own demise and shoved it right off the table. It is honestly hilarious. You have to wonder what was going through that fan's head. Did he really expect the man to memorialize his most embarrassing moment? This wasn't just a tackle, it was a cosmic shift. Consider the stats. Henry went 683 touches between fumbles, a model of absolute ball security. Then, heading into 2025, he fumbles 3 times in 3 games. It's like the man lost his spiritual armor. I'm starting to think that hit from DeJean didn't just bruise his ego. it fundamentally broke something in his game. And let's give credit where credit is due to the fan. It takes a special kind of audacity to pay for a high-quality print, have it signed by the guy who made the play, and then drag it to a public event just to witness the meltdown in person. It's peak fan behavior, even if it's incredibly unwise. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the NFL's funniest moments, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. At the end of the day, maybe the lesson here is simple. Respect the king's space, or risk getting your own ego shoved off the table. If you want to understand the heartbeat of American football, you have to look at the soil of Florida. There is simply no state that churns out gridiron legends with this kind of consistency. From Hall of Famers to Super Bowl icons, the Sunshine State is a factory for greatness. But that leads us to the ultimate debate. Who is the undisputed king of Florida high school football history? USA Today Sports is celebrating our nation's upcoming 250th anniversary by honoring the legends who shaped our sports culture, and now we want you to have your say. We have narrowed the list down to 10 absolute titans who defined grit and flair on the field. Think about Derrick Brooks, the linebacker who revolutionized defense at Washington High before terrorizing the NFL. Or Lee Corso, the Sunshine Scooter, who went from a Miami standout to a household name. We have the intimidating presence of Brian Dawkins, the unstoppable force of Derrick Henry, who set a national record with over 12,000 rushing yards, and the electrifying dual-threat magic of Lamar Jackson. You have the sheer intensity of Ray Lewis, the unparalleled prime-time swagger of Deion Sanders, and the freakish versatility of Warren Sapp. And we cannot forget the legendary production of Emmitt Smith or the pure, record-shattering dominance of Tim Tebow at Nice High. These aren't just athletes, they are the benchmarks of excellence. Each one of them turned high school Friday nights into the stuff of legend. Now, it is your turn to weigh in. Head over to the official poll and cast your vote for who truly deserves the title of the greatest to ever suit up in Florida. Who do you think stands above the rest? Drop your vote, let us know who your pick is in the comments, and remember, while stats define a career, the memories these players left on the field are what make them immortal. We all know Derrick Henry as the absolute wrecking ball for the Baltimore Ravens, the guy who turns defensive lines into speed bumps and earns that King Henry title every single Sunday. But away from the roar of the stadium and the grind of the film room, there is a side to this NFL titan that rarely makes the highlight reels. Recently, Henry stepped off the gridiron and into the spotlight of fatherhood, sharing the heartwarming news that he and his girlfriend, Adriana Rivas, have welcomed their third daughter into the world. It's a powerful reminder that even the most dominant athletes are ultimately just people, navigating the same joys and responsibilities that define all of our lives. Think about his career for a second. He is the only player in history to rack up 2,000 rushing yards in high school, college, and the pros. That isn't just luck. That is a level of sustained greatness that borders on mythical. Yet, seeing him embrace this new chapter as a father of 3 adds a different layer to his legacy. It's easy to get caught up in the stats, the contracts, and the championship hunts, but moments like this ground us. They remind us that the king title isn't just about what he does with a football in his hands. It's about how he shows up for the people who matter most. Henry has spent his entire career rising to the occasion, whether it's breaking tackles in the fourth quarter or stepping into the role of a devoted dad. He is proving that true greatness isn't strictly confined to the hash marks. It is about balance and character. If you enjoyed this look at the man behind the jersey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update on your favorite players. At the end of the day, it is worth remembering that while glory on the field is fleeting, the legacy we build in our personal lives is the one that truly lasts forever.